Da-da-da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. We are in the mix, aren't we? Oh my goodness, I have no idea what's in store, but if there has been a little bit of movement for you, join the club, right? It has been an experience over the Christmas holidays, especially. And I think it's because we are looking for those moments for ourselves that we're in the busy, and then we walk in the door and we just go, and we sit in the chair. And that's the most opportune or inopportune, depending on how you look at it, for these experiences and these lessons and these introspective moments, right? Where we actually look back at those adventures in our lives. And if that adventure was yesterday, that adventure was 10 years ago, if it was 10 lives ago, right? That to be able to actually look at it and see where we got things right? Where we got things wrong. One thing I would have to say, I am grateful that I have all three of my sisters in the same city that I live in. That even though that we don't get to spend a lot of time with each other, and I'm not necessarily sure if any one of us wants to spend any great lengths of time with each other. But we each have gifts, and when we come together for the Christmases and the birthdays and stuff, it's like a bunch of greedy grabbers, right? That we're just taking it for what it is, not knowing when we're going to come across each other's paths again. I have the most amazing sisters ever. And each one of us is playing out an experience different from each other. And we always have. We took a little bit from mom, a little bit from dad, and a little bit from each other, right? I am quite interested in some of the aspects of my other sisters. I definitely am. And I think I have a little piece of everybody in that dynamic family that I grew up in. It was just my nature to take it in, to reflect on that, just naturally, not waiting for those moments of total exhaustion to come in and go, oh, and then get smacked silly with an experience that we didn't expect, that maybe in the moment we didn't want because we were just totally exhausted from the experience we just came out of at work or in a relationship that we're in, right? Whatever it is, that relationship could even be with ourselves. And in that moment, we think, oh my goodness, I didn't need this. And then wake up in the morning to realize you didn't need anything more than what you got. Because it is in those difficult, scary, unsure, unsteady, right, foundations under our feet that we get to experience those other parts of us, right? To truly see what we're really picking up, right? If we're taking in the lessons or if we're just mouthing the words, right? We actually have to, what was that? Walk the talk or talk the walk? Either way, I think it's exactly the same, right? Because it is in the truth and it's in the combination of the truth, right? Neither one is the truth. And that's a lesson for another day. And in saying a lesson for another day, I have to say, I've been working on my 54 powerful words and getting the inspirational thoughts, moments, not necessarily quotes. I don't think there's any quotes because I was in a flow when I was doing my cards. I did it once in a 3-hour session where I sat and I did all the words that we had covered last year. And then there were 14 words that I didn't finish. And I took those words with me when I went on my trip this past September. It's a yearly gift that I give to myself. And in that gift, in that reward, I gift it out, I reward it out, right? So everything gets a second use. That's a little thing that I learned from the job that I'm in. Actually, even in my upbringing, right? I didn't gain the nickname secondhander in school for no reason at all, right? My mother, that was a lesson that my mother knew. And that hand me downs, thank goodness I was the oldest, right? But what I was saying when I was transitioning into the cards here was to say that in starting work on the cards, I'm going through what I've written, and you can see it's a big mishmash of messy, right? But when I finally got it and wrote it down, it was on to the next powerful word, right? But now I'm going back into these words to write them in the cards. And I do believe it's perfectly fine if I've misspelled a word. That has to be corrected on the card if I've misspelled the word, right? Maybe a little bit in the grammar, but in those powerful words, I don't think I should be switching them up because it changes the meaning. It changes the power of the little quote. And these words can touch on many aspects, but each one of these thoughts, quotes, not quotes, thoughts, inspirational moments or conversations or something I picked up along the way. And I wrote it down because it was pertinent to the word that we were working on. I was in flow, and I don't think I should be changing those words, right? Because what came to mind was man's putting their fingers in the Bible and change the meaning of everything, right? You know, even for me, messed it up with me with that quote of right to turn the other cheek, and it hurt me lots, right, as a kid, in turning the other cheek. Lessons, I could have divvied out lessons nice and soft and served it good. Maybe I just didn't have the experience in that moment, but knowing what I know now, that experience could have been had fairly fast if it was meant to happen. Come to recognize things happen for a reason. So I changed one of the words in this card. So I'm going to go back in tonight and I'm going to word it exactly in how it was in the flow. The only reason I changed the word is because I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. But that's the thing. Maybe I'm not supposed to get it. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand it. Maybe it's not something that's in the lessons for this lifetime or this year or 10 years. But in the moment, I don't get it. So I changed the word and I got it, right? But that's not how the flow works, right? Right? That's like giving my perspective on a powerful word. And I will give many perspectives on each one of these words. But if I'm so compelled to use whatever inspiration I wrote down, it has to be the word that I wrote down. So I'm not quite sure what word it is, about a third into it, maybe a quarter into it. I'll find it instantly. Instantly I'll know, even if I have to go back to the beginning of the book, because right, the whole process is to go back in to the book, find the word, find the number, come back in, write it in, right? So I will go backwards. I will find the mistake that I want because I want these cards to be as genuine as I'm trying to be in coming forward. And if I make a mistake in that, right, if in that grammarly kind of idea that I change the meaning, right, I hope that I can be course corrected like I was course corrected in that recognition so early in the process of get this. I thought it was going to be an hour process. It's going to take me a whole week to get these cards done. For sure. I don't know what I was thinking that I could do it in an hour. That I just had to copy it down. No, already. Right? And I'm also, when I'm in the words, I'm in the contemplation of the word, powerful word, and what I wrote down too. So there's got to give a few moments of, right? It's kind of paying homage to it a little bit, rehashing it, right? Not giving it a new perspective, right? Okay, you guys, I'm starting the job this week, the job that puts the roof over my head. I am heading out the door. Um, I wanted to pop in and say hi and pick a card, which I will do. And quickly, we're just going to go into it for a couple of minutes. But I want to consistently come in and pull a powerful word. It helps me ground and it helps me not to go off into spaces that I'm in, but other people aren't in, right? And I think it will serve all the way around, right? To me, to whatever, and for you, right? Hopefully it hits home. Okay, you guys, not all of these. I'm just getting in the works on them. The words are all there. Oh, there's a backwards word. Oh my goodness. Maybe I won't pull a word because half of them are backwards. Oh yeah. There. Okay. We'll just not look at it as I'm shuffling, right? And then I won't be compelled. They're backwards for a reason. There have been so many pushes in the past week. It's just a little one. I think I can deal with it. We're just going to carry on. Okay. Okay. So the word we're going to come up with is ooh. This is a powerful word. This, in my opinion, might be one of the most powerful words in this deck. It's like magic. Oh my goodness, how much time do I have? 5 minutes. Can I do this? You know what? Synthesis is the accumulation of parts, right? I come in here, right? I understand what I'm doing is kind of a spiritual kind of thing, but in my nurturing, in my upbringing, right? Even though my dad was very spiritual, my mother was very much a realist. And, I took a lot of those realistic tendencies in the way of my thinking. It was kind of drilled into me. I am a realist in things. And I think moving forward, a lot of the answers to the world's problem is going to be a very silly, realistic, easy thing to understand. But is it necessary for me to understand, even though I understand I'm going on this? I am a teacher, but I'm working. I'm working in emotions. I'm working through my own experiences and what I can bring to the table. And I think, you know, this is a human experience, right? I get that. Cindy's not coming back, but I believe that there are other parts of me that will come back and that are even here in this moment that I'm contributing to that little baseline of knowledge that we can make a little bit of movement, because not only is this actual point in human evolution, I think we have, right? We have gotten far apart or far enough ahead of the game that we can better understand what's going on, right? Not necessarily knowing the end game. Oh my goodness, right? But understanding a few things along the way that will help us out. This is possibly for me one of the most powerful words in this deck of mine, and it's accumulation of all different things. I delve into lots of different religions, right? I have a lot of different ideas that come from different religions, truths, right? That one religion got in their own movement forward, because all religions basically have the same baselines, right? So I took that realistic route and I went down the mindset route, right? It's realistic, it's human, it's feasible, but it's got a little bit of kinks in some of those ideas, right? It's not a private club. It's not a right. It has to be an all inclusive, right? It takes all kinds to make the world. It takes all kinds to make the world. Synthesis, right? Wow. New Year's Day. What a day to get this word, to pull it out of the deck. And I actually wrote down, oh my goodness, I haven't even completed a quarter or a third of this deck. And this one was one of them. Synthesis is the understanding it takes all kinds to make the world. We have to be more accepting of that, right? Because we're got to get busy in letting go of those things that we're so hyper vigilant on, right? Right? We don't want to take the lessons when we're totally exhausted and ready to flop into a chair and then be jolted into a realization when we haven't even gotten past the last one, right? If we had a little bit of better understanding in that, and wow, I couldn't have asked for a better word today. Wow, I came across this word yesterday, right? When I was working on the cards, I said, oh, I can't wait to get to that card. I guess that was when I came across to write this down, right? And I did that in a flow too. And that wasn't the card that I changed. It definitely was not the card. Synthesis is understanding. It takes all kinds to make the world, and we have to better get along with ourselves, right? But at the same time, the world's really moving fast. So sometimes we have to multitask a little bit because, well, because the world calls for it, because we're in that stage of evolution where things are changing. Decisions are being made, choices, right? It's one of my powerful words. And let's see, maybe we'll just, in that serendipities, pick that word tomorrow, right? And I'll hold the cards up. I won't even look, and we'll see if tomorrow, well, maybe by then I'll have the cards all straightened out so I don't see them. Synthesis. Wow, what a great word for the year going forward. It's full of forgiveness, it's full of understanding, it's full of relationships, and it's full of love, isn't it? Because we're not separating ourselves and we're not letting others, maybe, right, separate from us. Sometimes we have to hold things dear. Well, we most definitely do. Okay, you guys, I've got to run off to that work. We'll see each other tomorrow. Have a great day.